around midnight. Gentleman picks me up from the airport. Great guy. We say a couple of words to each other. We start driving. We get to the hotel. I get out of the car. I say, sir, I greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much. I know it's late. He said, no problem. He said, I just want to let you know that I'll be the gentleman that's coming back to pick you up in the morning to take you to your speaking engagement. I said, great. What time would you like for me to be down? He said, 7:15. I said, I'll see you then. Next morning comes, I come downstairs. We greet each other. We say good morning. We get in the car. We're riding to the venue. And 5 minutes into the trip, I look up and I look in the mirror and the gentleman is crying his eyes out. And I say to him, excuse me, sir, is everything okay? And he says to me, I want to paint a picture for you. He said, my normal job is not in transportation. I'm not a driver. He said, my buddy owns the company. Whenever he gets overwhelmed, he'll call and say, hey man, can you cover a shift? But I haven't done it for him in probably over a year. He said, but the cool part about it is we do a lot of work with the Seattle Seahawks. Pick a guy up, drop him off. I get on the computer, look him up. I share with my kids. It's always a great experience. He said, so when I picked you up and dropped you off last night, I didn't know if you worked for the Seahawks or not. And I went on the computer and I looked you up. And he said, I started seeing videos and I saw one about redirection and I saw one about perspective. He said, the reason I'm crying is because my wife just died. He said, I just lost my wife not long ago. And he said, I've been living my life thinking, surely there's nothing that can bring me the passion, the zeal, and the driving force that my wife once brought me. And he said, I'm not saying that the videos can replace my wife because nothing could ever replace my wife. He said, but what it did for me was it renewed my perspective and it gave me a new energy. And he went on to share, and I said to him when he got done, I said, excuse me, sir, can I ask you a couple of questions? Right? I just want to know a couple of things. He said, sure. I said, can you tell me at a basic level, right? At a basic level, when you encountered the opposition, when you encountered the adversity, when you encountered what was probably the darkest, toughest, roughest moment of your life, how did you get up at a basic level, put one foot in front of the other, continue to function, walk out of your door every single day, continue to praise God, and raise your other two children in the midst of the adversity, right? Because we all know what to do when things go right. We all know what to do when God blesses us. We all know what to do when things go the way that we want them to go. We all know how to respond when the sun is shining, right? But what do we do when God says no? Right? And so I wanted to understand in the midst of the opposition, what was your perspective? The quote says it. You judge the character and caliber of a person not by where they stand in times of comfort and convenience. You judge the character and caliber of a person by where they stand in times of challenge and controversy. Right? Like Mike Tyson, I think he got this one right. Everybody has a plan until they get punched in the face. Right? And so I wanted to understand when the punch happened, how did he not only absorb the punch, but continue to function in the midst of the punch? And he said to me, follow me. He said, my wife had been sick for 30 years. He said she got to a point she was wheelchair bound. Every single day I would come downstairs and we would bicker, we would argue, we would fuss about the environment, and it was so toxic. He said, until one day I came downstairs, I was helping my wife, and it was so toxic, I looked at my wife in her wheelchair, and I said, I'm leaving, I can't take it. Follow me. He said, I called my buddy, he picked up the phone, I said, man, listen, I can't take it, can I come and stay with you for the night? My buddy said, sure. Said he packed a night bag, went to his buddy's house, complained the whole night, got up the next morning, went into the restroom, pulled his toothbrush out, pulled his toothpaste out, and he's starting to brush his teeth in the mirror. And as he's brushing his teeth in the mirror, he's saying to himself, for richer or for poor, yeah, we've been pretty poor. For better or for worse, yeah, things have gotten pretty worse. Through sickness and health. And he stopped. And the conviction said to him, you didn't finish. You didn't do what you said you were going to do. You didn't hold up your end of the bargain. You was all good when it was all good, but you didn't stay in the pocket and you didn't follow through. You didn't stay true to the vow that you made, and it wasn't in a point to where it was circumstance. You didn't stay true to what you said you were going to do. And he said the conviction was so strong, it took him right back out of that door into the door of his house. And when he walked in, his wife was sitting there, and she said to him, what are you doing here? And she started to get on him, and he told her, I deserve it. Give it to me. Right? And when she got done, he said he told her, I just want you to know that I'll never leave again. I just want you to know, no matter how rough, how tough, how bad it gets, I just want you to know that I'm going to be here, and I'm going to stay in the pocket. I said, great, I got that part.